lack of counsel. But with many advisors, they succeed. So Samson is not listening to somebody's wise counseling here. So again, sometimes as Christians we need to listen to godly people giving us their instructions. If we're not listening, and we go do our own thing in our own way, we could get into trouble, like Samson did. But Samson doesn't care about the opinions of his parents or their advice. He just goes and does what he wants to. The next mistake that Samson made was that his choice of the Philistine woman was a direct disobedience to the commandments of God. This is implied when his father says, do not marry her, or can't you find somebody else? Yeah. God had commanded the children of Israel not to intermarry among the pagan nations of the land. We read in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3 through 4, do not intermarry with them, do not give your daughters to their sons, or take their daughters for your sons, for they will turn your sons away from following me to serve other gods. And the Lord's anger will burn against you and will quickly destroy you. Again, this is one of the problems that Samson has. Not only does he not care about what his parents say or think, he doesn't care what God thinks, does he? He doesn't care. But in here, God knew that if they intermarried with the people of the Philistines, they would turn their hearts away from him. I believe that Samson knew what God had commanded. He knew that his choice was a direct violation of God's commandments or God's law. Again, what is important to Samson is what he feels. When his parents spoke to him about the matter, he replied, "Get her for me. She's the right one." And again, it's like he could care less about what his parents said or think. Doesn't care about what God has told him. All he cares about is what he wants. This reveals his unwillingness to delay his gratification. When one begins to disobey God's word, they always go down spiritually. The Bible is God's book to regulate our actions and our reactions. It is a book to live by. Psalms 1 and verse 1 through 3 says, "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the ways of the sinner, or sit in the seat of the mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night." Well, God's word can keep you out of a lot of trouble if you obey it, right? But again, there are many people today that are completely out of the church because they disobeyed God, not followed his directions, or not listened to good counsel. They may begin to miss a Sunday here and there, and the next thing you know, they're not coming again. They're not in the church. I mean, most of us have seen people make major mistakes in their lives whenever they start disobeying God, start not listening to wise counsel. Again, many of us have seen people go down spiritually because they haven't listened. And again, this is the case with Samson. He's not listening to anybody. One begins to go down spiritually when there is a distraction in the work of God. In verse 4, we have an interesting and fascinating truth that we've already kind of hit upon, which Jim brought to our attention. His parents did not know that this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to confront the Philistines, for at that time they were ruling over Israel. Well, again, when you stop and think about this, this is not Samson's plan at all. I think Samson is content to be where he is. Remember, like we talked about before in chapter 13,